All right, hello everyone. My name is Dio Morales, host of the Gold Squadron podcast, and today I am joined by Ryan Farmer of the Minox Squadron podcast. I said that really weird.
It's okay.
I'm tired.
I believe you. You put a lot of work in.
You are watching round 3 of day 1C of the X-Wing World Championships.
Yeah, this round is brought to you by the patrons and Twitch Prime subscribers of the Gold Squadron podcast. So thank you all for your support in that. And this stream looks great, and we got ourselves one heck of a game coming up.
Bro, there's arcs. Look at all these arcs.
Yo, arcs on arcs on arcs. I mean, kind of. Nim doesn't really count.
He doesn't have a turret. It's fine.
You're right. Turret. You know, I guess that's fine. I guess it's fine.
He's got to work a little bit.
A little more than usual, I guess.
So let's go ahead and break down this list. Ryan, you're familiar with Fernando's list. Go ahead, break it down.
Absolutely. So he's flying Expertise Quick Draw with Fire Control System, Lightweight Frame, Spec Ops Training, Inquisitor, Push Limit, Auto Thrusters, and Captain Yor with Palp. And so I flew this squad yesterday, and the thing I like most about it is that it's got an incredible amount of flexibility. You've got the Inquisitor, who is better Soontir right now. You don't see Soontir because Inquisitor is just as good. He's got a little more health. He turns off those auto thrusters and can really be a pain for a lot of other kind of ships in the end game. In terms of dealing with ghosts and that sort of thing, he can tank up just as good as Soontir can. Obviously, Palp is Palp. Quick Draw, massive offense if you can get her in the right position. With that expertise going around Fen and fire control, if you can get Quick Draw in the right spots, people say, oh, she burns bright, she dies quickly. Well, not necessarily if you put her in places where her opponents don't want to fire at her. You just shove her range 1 to places. Opponents have really, really tough decisions to make. And obviously, the MVP of the entire squad is Captain Yor.
Right.
Being able to do all the kinds of things, the best stress mitigation and control in the game, being able to take a stress token off a ship range 1 to 2 whenever it's gained. Captain Yor is what makes the squad so good because you can do incredible things.
And I also want to say thank you to Angel2Switch for becoming a Twitch Prime subscriber. Thank you so much. That's easy to do. Connect your Amazon Prime to Twitch. You click the button. You give away free money. It's literal free money.
It's free money.
And let's go ahead and break down Kyle's list. Kyle Stoos of the OCX Radio Podcast, live cast, drinking while playing X-Wing cast, all the things. Very fun. Good group. Take a listen. He has basically a Scum Alpha squad here. He's got VI, Harpoon Missiles, Bomblet Generator, Trajectory Simulator, Genius, Harpoon. I said Harpoon already. Guidance Chips, and Havoc. That's all on Nim. Basically, there, it's a two-headed monster, Nim, right? Because if you can use that Harpoon Missile, that probably means you can throw that bomb out there at the same time. Then you got Tirani Kolda, also at PS10, VI Harpoons, Unhinged, Guidance Chips, just another beast just trying to line things up in that bullseye firing arc and making sure that you can get that missile off. And lastly, Captain Justero taking advantage of the splash damage from Harpoons.
Yes.
Being able to trigger, shoot twice in a turn, Deadeye, Harpoon, Scav Crane to get that missile back.
Yeah, Kyle has a squad that has a really good trick. You know, it does that trick very well. We talk about tricks, and it's always dangerous to do a trick in X-Wing, but this one is a heavy alpha. You go at your opponent, you throw that bomb, you do the Justero damage. He gets to fire twice. It's very scary for a lot of different opponents to play against, and this is a really interesting matchup because again, it's arcs, and as we see Fernando, he's doing the classic trying to. Flanking out Inquisitor wide. He's using him kind of as bait and pulling Kyle's ships towards him. And then I think what you'll see Fernando do is pull Inquisitor all the way back around, try to get a flank around the bottom of the board and back, and then hopefully bring that shuttle around one side and Quick Draw in for some kind of pincer. When I fly the squad, I like keeping the shuttle and Quick Draw right next to each other,
right?
Because it allows Quick Draw to to sloop and do things and ditch that stress.
That's so good.
It's very good, but you have to be very careful because if you're Fernando with an ace squad, you have to decide. Kyle's getting those missiles off. He is going to get things off, right? You just have to decide. Remember when triple boats were out and that was against the aces squads?
Yes.
And you had to do your best to only take one missile at a time.
One missile at a turn.
Correct.
So if I'm playing the Jump Masters in that wave, if I could get all 3 of my missiles on an ace,
dead.
Yeah, that thing is dead. Doesn't matter. Your
Right.
auto thrusters and focus can only save you so many times.
Right, and so in that kind of thing, the ace players had to figure out how to only take one missile at a time, or maybe two, and that's the kind of thing we're also seeing right here. Fernando does not want to be taking more than one missile at a time, and he wants to get Quick Draw in a position where if Quick Draw takes damage, he's putting 8 damage into another ship. Obviously, Kolda only has 8 health. So Kyle is smart to have Kolda on the outside there. So that means if Quick Draw were to get into range 1, he's got to fight through a whole lot of things.
Absolutely.
Quick Draw, I think, would be smart to get, in range 1 of something as quick. Jump from 3 to 1 in order to scare Kyle, like, sure, damage me, come at me.
Right.
Basically.
Because right now, for Kyle, for every ship, your health is a resource that you need to
Correct.
manage. You know that you're going to take damage, but can you minimize that damage in order to get into the position you need to win the game? That's what Kyle's going to be looking to do. His ships aren't super maneuverable. They both do have barrel on Tarani and Nim, but really that's more for positioning. You're going to need to be throwing out that target lock and making sure that you can get that missile
the other thing is for Justero, with his Deadeye, as long as he's got that focus, it's unavoidable. Like I said, it's going to come. Like, Fernando can't stop it. He can only delay it and engage on his terms.
Yep.
And that's what aces have to do. They can't get caught off guard. You have to use your superior positioning to ensure that when you do get those missiles off, again, you're only taking one, or they're obstructed, or you're getting as many bonuses as possible. Because like I said, Justero's getting that off. So you want to ensure that you're not taking a damage from the trajectory simulator, so Justero can proc his ability.
Yep.
You have to make sure that if Justero does tag you with the Deadeye, he doesn't also have a target lock. Like I said, it's tough, and I like what he's doing here, Fernando, bringing Quick Draw towards the bottom of the board. He's really trying to pull Kyle, the classic, bring them through the rocks, break their formation, make Kyle really work for this. Kyle, on the other hand, could just decide to say, you know what, I'm not taking any bait. I'm going to nuke your shuttle into the stratosphere and then go from there.
Which wouldn't be a bad way to go. You do have Tarani has reload.
Right.
So that resource can replenish itself, and then all of a sudden Tarani becomes a really dangerous end-game piece that can be supported by Nim and covered with the trajectory simulator.
I really like what Kyle's done, putting Tarani on, you see on the top of the board there, because that means if he's unchallenged and being protected, he can get that missile off and easily reload without being in too much of a compromising position. It's a smart play, and I think that we will, if I had to guess, we will see Kyle get that reload off.
At least once.
At least once, seeing how the things are positioned right now. Dion, what do you think? Do you think that if you're Kyle right now, is it the shuttle the priority, or do you think if you can nuke one of these aces, that's what you should be going after?
I think you have to go after the shuttle. The consistency that Palpatine gives you with these aces is off the charts. I mean, you're familiar with it.
Absolutely.
Inquisitor by himself can tank a missile. You can roll 4 blanks and be fine, right?
Yeah, you roll 4 blanks, and if you're at range 3, you could have the Palp, the evade, and auto thrusters,
and maybe you had to focus.
One.
Take one,
take one. Yeah, it's. I just think that if I'm Kyle, Palpatine will continue to pay and pay and pay for himself, and not only that, Captain Yor will as well. A lot of for me personally, when I play, I hate when people go after Captain Yor first.
Yep.
Because the thing is, when I lose Palp and lose the flexibility of Yor, suddenly it's much harder to fly the squad. Also, I don't think it should be taken for granted how good the Lambda Shuttle is as a moving obstacle. Kyle needs action.
Oh, it's so good at blocking.
Kyle needs to be taking those focuses. Kyle needs to be taking target locks. He's got to be able to do some of his repositioning with Nim and everything. If he allows the shuttle just to muck up space, that makes it way more difficult for him to do the things he's trying to do.
Another point here, with Justero and the shuttle being at both at PS4,
right?
We have to double check to see who has initiative here. Unfortunately, I didn't mark that down.
We'll check here to see who moves first.
Right, exactly. That'll tell us. One thing I want to bring up with Quick Draw and Lightweight Frame that some people forget, because usually you're rolling 2 plus the 1.
Yes.
If Quick Draw can get an obstruction and is taking a missile,
yes,
you're rolling 3 plus the Lightweight Frame.
Yeah, and so that also is something that So I just did Hangar Bay, and I was going against HLC Brobots. Also a situation that occurs going against a Ghost's primary attack at range 3.
Yep.
Also gets you that 4th die. So there are some sneaky added benefits to lightweight frame in that regard.
Because when it first came out, and I think most people just think, 3+1. I mean, 2+1.
Yeah.
Right? You don't ever think about those situations where you go, wait a second.
Side note, it looks like Justero has the initiative, so he's
Okay.
going to be moving and shooting first.
So they had it on the right side the whole. It was set up the whole time.
It was there. We knew.
So the big thing that gives Kyle is that Kyle can always get that focus without worrying about the shuttle mucking him up.
Moving into bump, and I'm not sure. But we're both squads at 100. I know the left one, Fernando's is at 100.
They're both at 100.
Yeah, so it's one of those situations where for Kyle, did whoever won initiative, do you want the shuttle to be able to bump or not?
Mm-hmm.
So if I were Fernando, I would have preferred in this engagement for Quick Draw to be right next to the shuttle right now.
Right.
And then moving in on this joust together. Because here's the other thing. What's exciting about dealing with harpoons, if you have Quick Draw next to the shuttle and they launch a harpoon at the shuttle and then they end up getting a splash damage in a Quick Draw, boom, he's firing at you again, which makes it super dangerous. But it looks like Fernando is going to bring Quick Draw back around and try to do this pincer.
Do you think that one thing, the Inquisitor could very easily do a 1 hard and kind of come in here next to the shuttle?
He could.
As bait?
He could, but I don't know if you want the Inquisitor in that position because let's say he does a 1 hard towards the top of the board right now.
Right.
He's moving in. He wants to be behind people. He doesn't want to be the vanguard. You know?
Right.
So, I think I would not be surprised to see Fernando zip the Inquisitor, even like up doing a 3 forward boost or something, and trying to keep him towards the back of these ships because they're not entirely super maneuverable in terms of turning around quickly. Like, yeah, they've got their K-turns and their Talon rolls, but that means they're not taking their actions. But Fernando's got to get his ships in faster here because in one more round, these ships...
all the missiles are going to be on target.
And it's one of those things where if Kyle... You don't want to let Kyle have a free round of fire on your shuttle without doing... That's a wasted round for you if you're Fernando. You got to get Inquisitor, Quick Draw, and your shuttle on something so that, sure, the shuttle might take X amount of torps, right? But you want to make sure that you also traded the shuttle's damage for damage of your own. Because like you said earlier, your damage is a resource.
Yep. And now with that barrel roll back up to the board, what he's doing, he's going to try to make sure that he can get all 3 ships in range and not have Nim too far spread out in the next turn.
Yeah, so Fernando's also being very cognizant to ensure that his ships aren't clustered for that trajectory simulator, which is also smart. So let's say, Quick Draw was right next to the shuttle. He could be taking damage from Harpoon and Trajectory Simulator, and that could be really risky, you know what I mean? So, like, from Kyle's perspective, if, let's say Quick Draw and the shuttle were next to each other, he could go, hey, you know what, that's fine. I'm going to put a ton of damage into your shuttle and then probably strip Quick Draw's shields, maybe even kill Quick Draw with Splash, who knows? And then if it's a super damaged shuttle, super damaged Quick Draw versus maybe just a super damaged Nim, or maybe you traded, like, maybe Nim's at 2 hull or Kolda's at 1 hull. That's a trade Kyle wants.
Right, because then Quick Draw without her shield has lost her most valuable tool.
Yes, exactly.
You have expertise for the mods, but that threat of getting 2 shots in return.
It's not necessarily the 2 shots. It's the threat of the 2 shots that keeps her alive. It's it's one of those things. Once she's vulnerable, she dies fast. A Quick Draw with 1 shield is so survivable because people.
So good. You don't want to do it.
You don't. You're just scared of her.
Because usually by then you're in the mid game.
Yeah.
And you're in that shooting that shield off could be the difference between you having a ship.
I can tell you how amazing it is when you've got that 1 lightweight frame roll and you only have 1 shield and you roll that evade and you keep your shield.
Yes.
It's huge strategically and tactically. D would argue with me about the usage of those phrases. I'm not sure which one we're talking about.
I won't do that for you.
I appreciate it. I wish you were my co-host.
the my gold
not my gold
cast.
Not my gold squadron. Are we live streaming the Goldies?
Oh yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's gonna happen for
sure. So again, you've got Kyle at the top of the screen, keeping all of his ships clustered. Well, we anticipate him to move down, and Kyle actually helped Fernando out here by delaying the engagement around.
Yep.
So it looks like Fernando might have time to bring
to get quick draw.
Yeah, to get quick draw and the Inquisitor in. But quick draw being in the middle, you'd prefer quick draw to be towards the right of the screen.
Yeah, a little bit farther in.
A little more towards Kyle's side so that he can get behind these ships. But also, Kyle's still playing it a bit cagey because if he wanted to, he could slow roll and maybe, if Fernando decided to go in too fast, pivot from the shuttle and just nuke quick draw or the Inquisitor. So Kyle's doing a good one of the things you'll see from some of the top X-Wing players is that they do maneuvers that leave multiple options open, not only for themselves, but for their opponents to not entirely be sure where they're going.
Absolutely.
And that's one of the skills that separate some of the top X-Wing players from some of the people who are just getting into the game. And as we move into 2.0 coming up, and we're kind of resetting back to the norm, people are going to have to relearn how to put themselves in positions that thinking a couple turns ahead and making, since dials will be more important, their opponents will have to think, well, where are they going to go? If you only leave yourself one lane, it'll be easier for them to guess.
Yes. And that's when we, of course, Gold Squadron Podcast isn't going anywhere. We're going to bring you 2.0 streams and all that stuff. The tactics of positioning is going to be the number one thing that we're going to be able to talk about, and it's gonna matter so much. And even with those ships that are going to have the mobile arcs,
right?
Like it's going to matter. Well, I position myself this way, I set my arc. And there's that game of chicken where you're trying to force your opponent to change the mobile arc, and all of a sudden now they're down action efficiency. Like there's so many things here.
Yeah, because actions, they've been pushing it, and I 100% agree, are so much more important now. They did a really good job, kind of nerfing down force multipliers.
Yep. I want to go ahead and say thank you to Nokalani for becoming a Twitch Prime subscriber. Thank you so much.
Tring.
All right, so we are bringing. Oh, he might be hitting that debris.
That's interesting.
Oh no, he's fine.
Oh,
he
was
off
on
the
outside.
Outside,
right?
side.
Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't think he was in line for that, but looks like he's fine there. And again, there's that dead eye flexibility, so he's got that focus there. But it looks like Kyle's primary target is the shuttle, and it looks like Fernando's okay with that.
It's going to be in range. Nim should be. It's going to be close whether that one bank is going to fit there or not.
I think it will.
Yeah.
Because we're at a bit of that angle.
You're right.
I don't think Kyle would have put himself in that position if it didn't. But maybe, I rocked myself twice on stream yesterday, so.
And then we'll have Tirani coming up, probably a 2 forward to come in line right behind those guys. Maybe a 3.
Right.
3 might fit.
Yeah, I think if I were Kyle, I'd be doing that bank with Nim and that 3 forward, and that should put him in really good position. This is where Fernando does not want to be. Like, I think that the problem here is all these shots are going on the shuttle, and all he's getting is a shuttle shot in return. He very well could get a shot with quick draw as well. Mm-hmm. But one of the things you have to do with aces, and the things that this squad in particular does well, is that this version of Palp Aces is a very underrated jousting squad. It can't outjoust this, obviously.
Right.
But the kind of firepower it can push out is
it's ridiculous. The Inquisitor is extremely good. I was telling people, out of all the aces, with people's like, oh, Kylo can go anywhere. You can do all these things with Kylo. It's like, I'm scared mostly of the Inquisitor.
Yeah, and
more than anybody.
Inquisitor's basically, if he can get behind you and stuff, Inquisitor's basically, and that's he's tossing a bomb up front. Inquisitor is getting 3 hits every time, essentially. Like, you might sometimes only get the 2, but if you're willing to go with the target lock and focus and you're not getting shot at, it's 3 hits from Inquisitor, and then expertise, target lock, that's 3 hits from quick draw, and then maybe another 2 from the shuttle, depending if it has a focus or not.
Yeah.
And then if they hit quick draw, that's another 3. Like, when talking about jousting efficiency, I'm no math wing master. I'm not Bob.
No worry.
But looking at your modifiers and how reliably, it's not always about how many dice you're throwing, it's the quality of the dice. And Fernando's squad, this Palp Aces, Foss Aces, Howard Aces, whatever you want to call it, has a great quality of shots.
Absolutely.
All around.
So we got the target lock there from Nim. Torani's going to be reaching for a target lock. Should have it just there in range 3.
So yeah, obviously they're going to be tossing a ton of dice. Who should Fernando be firing at here?
Fernando, I mean, your best quality shot. I mean, they're probably all going to be at range 3. I would take Nim if I could get it.
I think it depends if you've got a shot.
Is the bomb in?
Nope. So no bomb there. That hurts Kyle because that
doesn't.
means Justero doesn't get his second shot. Really good for Fernando. I think if you have Nim, you take Nim with quick draw. If not, you fire at Justero because he's the squishiest target.
Absolutely. All right. So there's our dice.
Yep.
I think they're just resetting the dice from what it was over there. They're discussing what. All right. So there we go. So hit crit. We're going to spend the target lock.
Then he's got chips as well. He's got a really good shot at.
Right.
You know,
Math says you get it.
Yep.
So
Chips for 4.
there we go.
So it'll be harpooned.
So we're looking for that shuttle here.
Yep.
Rolling that die.
And I don't think you palp here. I think you just play it out, see what happens, spend the focus, mitigate as much as you can. So you take 3 in the harpoon condition.
It's been harpooned. And here comes Tarani to follow that up.
Also, really smart to spend that focus there because you're going to have to, it was going to get stripped by Tarani anyway.
Yep.
Bullseye arc dependent.
All right, target lock.
Not a great roll for Kyle there.
Definitely a little bit below average. All right, so we're going to get that condition to trigger, and the shuttle will be taking a crit under the shields if it doesn't roll an evade here.
I think you palp here.
Did he?
Yep.
He did.
You
okay.
palp. Yeah, I think you have to.
Avoid the crit.
Yeah. I mean, you're still taking the.
Still taking the harpoon.
You're still taking the harpoon, but you save the, the card, the crit card. So, shuttle at 4, and the shuttle could very well get nuked here, but at the very least, if I'm Kyle, he's thinking about it. I might not even fire the harpoon at the shuttle here.
From Justero?
Yeah, I just might take a normal shot. Well, obviously, Quick Draw has to fire first. And
So
he does have Nim, so you take the Nim shot.
Yep.
For sure.
All right, here we go. Expertise is live and set up that fire control system. There it is.
Good roll. Really good roll. Love the chroma key here.
So 2 blanks.
2 blanks. That's a really, really fortunate roll for all around. That's it swayed well in Fernando's way there on variance because without that FCS, let's see if he remembers to drop the FCS. He might forget.
I think it's this token right there, that red one.
Oh yeah, you're right.
So we got it, and there's a little tab on quick draw.
Yep, you got it.
So this is Justero. He did fire the harpoon missile.
Yep. And unless he rolls an evade here, I think that'll do it. Nope. That's going to do it for Yor.
All right. So
Yor will get simultaneous fire, though.
Because they're both PS4, yep.
Yep. So you understand what I was saying now, Dion, about that trade, how Fernando wasn't able to get all his guns on something?
Did he not shoot with the shuttle?
Oh, looks like he forgot. Oh, unless he got blinded there. He could have gotten blinded.
He may have.
It might be blinded, which could be really bad.
And Scavenger Crane does trigger.
Yep.
Because it was within range 2, so the missile does come back. But it looks like Scavenger Crane did break.
Yes.
So the crane
doesn't matter. It's fine. This is really in Kyle's favor now because he's still he'll be able to kind of slow roll a curve in now. Now it's not over, obviously, because you still have 2 tremendous aces. But that shuttle not firing really hurts. So if we're talking about trade, right?
Right.
Like what you gave or what you got, you traded your shuttle, Emperor Palpatine Captain Yor, for 3 on 4 on Nim.
3.
3 on Nim. That's the danger of putting yourself in an engagement and not getting all your guns on something at the same time.
Right.
Like I said, Kyle was the one that was able to instigate what he wanted, and Fernando didn't get the initial engagement on his terms.
Yeah, so in hindsight, right? Hindsight's 2020.
Right.
He had done this barrel roll to the outside. I think I understand what he's trying to do, right? You talk about flanking Inquisitor is one of the best, right? So he's trying to bring in quick draw and draw.
It's going to take too much time.
It's going to take too much time.
Like, you might lose quick draw before you have a chance to get the Inquisitor all the way around. So now, if you're going to have a shot, what you got to do is YOLO quick draw, like, just get him in right now.
Yep.
And muck that stuff up, and you gotta get Inquisitor up and around as fast as possible, because you cannot bring Inquisitor in front of that entire swarm, because he'll just target the Inquisitor, nuke him off, and then it'll be quick draw versus, I don't know, maybe he'll probably get Nim. Fernando probably will kill Nim. So then it's, let's see, it's probably, does Nim have a harpoon again or no? He spent it, right?
He spent it, yeah. So let's go ahead and get rid of those harpoons because they are gone.
And then did he flip a bomblet because he spent trajectory?
No, but he didn't. It wasn't a genius.
Oh, it wasn't a genius, right?
Yeah.
He just launched it, so he's good there.
So now we're waiting. Kyle is gonna probably. I mean, his best choice is just to start skating around this debris.
Yeah, I think you do a one bank with Justero, you do a one bank with Nim, and you do a one forward with Tarani or
and
two
reload.
forward, and you reload. Because Tarani is fine. He can take a couple shots, especially if it's just one shot from the Inquisitor. Again, we talk about resources. We talk about what you have on you. And now that without Palp, the defense of these guys is, not as good. And again, this is why, sure, firing at Nim was great there.
Right.
But if you fire at Justero there, let's say, obviously, if he got blinded, that sucks on your. But if he had gotten a good shot onto Justero and a good shot with his shuttle on both of them, Justero could be at 2, and you could PS kill him with quick draw if you were,
absolutely,
or at least make him afraid to move forward.
So now we're just looks like we're there. Kyle's just double checking.
Well, actually, you know what else would be a really sneaky move for Kyle here? He does a 2 hard with Justero, a 2 hard with Nim, and after doing a 2 hard, launches his bomb.
You can't.
Oh, you can't genius?
You can't genius trajectory anymore.
Oh, right. So how does the
it's
how do you discard genius? Sorry.
If you drop it out the back.
Oh, it's out the back.
Out the back.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Because they said that bomb dropping and trajectorying are not the same.
Right. You're right. My bad.
That's fine. It's
totally forgot.
It's one of those. I was playing against somebody who didn't know. I tried to play it, and
so here he goes bringing Inquisitor in. And that's a great spot for Inquisitor to be, because he'll probably only be taking shots, a shot from Justero. Like we said before, mitigating how many missiles you take at once. So Justero could Deadeye Inquisitor without that Palp backup.
It's a little less reliable. Ooh, I think that was range 2.
Oh, man, that's brutal.
Can't target lock. He gets the evade.
And then you focus.
Is it worth barrel rolling backwards to get the...
No, I think you just turtle up, because Nim doesn't have a harpoon anymore.
Justero does, though.
Right, yeah, but, I mean, you can afford to you can afford to take 1 missile and maybe a range 3 from Nim. The dice are with you on that shot.
Right. This is one of those situations where if Yor was still alive, that barrel roll to the right looks pretty good.
True. Absolutely. And also, if Yor was still alive here as well, the next round, obviously Yor probably wouldn't make it, but would be a great position for Quick Draw to do a 3 sloop to the left. But that's clearly not going to happen. So Quick Draw is kind of going all in, and Kyle's got an interesting decision here, because he could conceivably kill Quick Draw here, but if he did, he's probably losing a ship.
I think
he's losing Nim if he goes after Quick Draw.
I think you're presenting with that target. It'd be interesting. It's the Dengar predicament, right?
Right. Yeah. That's exactly what it is.
One on one, ships. You usually don't shoot the ship that can come back at you, but him at PS. And the other issue is that these ships aren't Kyle's ships aren't super maneuverable. So the idea of possibly getting, I guess, did he have target lock range there on the Inquisitor?
I think he did. The other thing is that Kyle could have considered here was, instead of doing a 1 forward, doing a 1 bank onto the debris to stick a bullseye onto Inquisitor.
Right.
That's something Inquisitor has to be really careful about. If he gets in that bullseye, he either takes damage or loses all the tokens.
Yeah. He did do the 1 forward.
Yep. And let's see if he reloaded. I don't see
He was looking down the line. I think he's trying to make that decision.
I mean, I would reload. I think he's checking a target lock. Interesting. I mean, personally,
trying to focus fire down Inquisitor.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, that's definitely not a bad option. Again, I think that sure he's taking a harpoon, and the harpoon's coming last though, so he's taking.
But Tarani, there are no more harpoons on the table except for
Justero.
Justeros,
So he'll be taking just a harpoon last. So 3 range 3 shots. I mean, that's a really good shot at the Inquisitor right there.
Hit crit.
Inquisitor should get 4 though. He's got auto thrusters. He's got tokens.
Auto thrusters. He has to spend
the evade
token. Yep.
So that's good for Kyle. Stripping a token. Nim will follow up, get a pretty good shot here. I think Nim's focused up, maybe locked. No,
He's
Nim's
locked.
Yeah.
So unobstructed, range 3.
Yep. So this probably is going to be another 3-2 if Fernando's lucky.
Okay.
Okay, so 2.
Auto thrusters, he's probably fine.
He should be fine on this shot. Yep,
yeah.
He's good. Yeah, Kyle needed 3 on that one to have hope to strip a focus or something. So, again, Inquisitor in decent shape here for this harpoon shot. If it's range 2, that does suck, like a lot.
Yeah.
But he's got shields. He's still at full.
Looks like Inquisitor was, Quick Draw was measuring to Nim.
Which, I mean, he's injured right now. So, and that's a really good shot there.
Hit crit. That's going to stick.
Yep. So Nim is going to take a crit. Let's see what that is.
Maybe he had one more shield than we thought.
Maybe.
All right, and this is the Inquisitor. It's an evade, takes 1, crit, major explosion
into nothing. So now Nim's at 4. I guess we had one more shield than we thought.
I'm gonna go ahead and hide the GSP logo. Yep. Yeah. Okay, so that's 1.
Yeah. So we're good.
Right, so we're good.
We're good. Oh, you just knew. You knew.
Yeah. The future.
So this is a huge point, a turning point in the game right here. If Kyle can push a lot of damage into Inquisitor right now, that would be bad for Fernando. Not a great roll, but still 3. Range
crits.
2. So Inquisitor wants to get at least 2 paint here.
Here we go.
Oh,
natties.
We don't have the button.
I don't have a natties button.
We don't have the natties button.
Too many buttons.
Too many buttons. That's a big turning point in the game because again we talk about trades.
Yep.
Here. So
now we've the scales are starting to even out a little bit.
Exactly. So what happened here for Kyle and Fernando? Kyle just traded 4 damage onto Nim for nothing on Inquisitor. And when we talk about that spike damage, again, I think I think he should have reloaded with Kolda, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that way on this go around, he's got that bomb launch coming. Then he'd have Kolda with a harpoon, and then maybe a range 1 with Justero.
Yep.
And now he's out his Justero harpoon. Again, I think that was the correct choice for Kyle to go after the Inquisitor there.
Right, because he had all 3 guns on target.
Yeah, you're not going to fire a quick draw. You're just not. Like that. That's what you do. I just think if he had been able to reload with Kolda, he'd be in a better shape a little further down the line. But that's something you weigh there. Like that could have easily have swung in Kyle. That as much as that was 3 evades, that could have been 3 blanks and a direct hit. Like that's the kind of variance we talk about in X-Wing in that regard. Range 2 harpoon shot on Quiz is really good. Like on average there, Inquisitor
should have taken at least a shield.
At least 1, probably 2 after all those shots were coming at him. I mean, that's me feeling it. That's not, me knowing the math. That's not the math because I just don't want to put the effort into figuring that out. But this is an interesting position because Inquisitor's got a boogie out now hard because
you playing Inquisitor. What's your move here?
Let's see. I'm stressed. I think I do. That's really tough. It's really tough. He's put him. It's because of the trajectory sim.
Mm-hmm.
I think you got to do. Let's see. I think you got to do a one hard to the left. I think you need to do a one hard to the left, barrel roll left, and then boost forward. And
have that rock.
And have the rock and no tokens. And keep yourself at range 3 because there are no more missiles.
Right.
It's all primary shots. And if Kolda gets you in the bullseye, you're losing those tokens anyway. And you got to get yourself out of that. For me, it's hard to see the range on the board.
Right.
But you got to get yourself out of that bomb range so that Justero can't.
Translates a little bit.
Yeah. You gotta make sure that Justero can't fire at you. So if you're in a spot where the bomb goes off, you have to make sure you're not in Justero's arc. That's why I think the one hard boost, the barrel roll out means that at the very least you are getting out of that situation.
So Kyle choosing to do a 2 forward here. He's trying to keep the pressure on the Inquisitor.
Exactly. Yeah. And I don't know if Kyle will even launch the bomb because that puts Justero in a compromising situation as well.
Well, he gets to see where Inquisitor's going to go, so he'll get to decide first.
Right, exactly. So it's just, again, that trade. Oh, he did a 4 forward. Interesting. I mean, that also very good.
Yes, 4 forward. Yep. So this is the strategy of I'm going to get in your face, and if we're touching, now I've at least taken away 1 shot, or maybe 2 if the guy in front of me gets behind me.
Also super valid. And also that one hard could have put him on the rock. Couldn't tell from this angle. He could only end up taking totally turtle up right here. Only end up taking 1 shot maybe from Tirani. Also means that gives Tirani a tough choice to whether to reload or not. I like the 4 forward there. Really smart. But it also kind of risky because if oh, actually, you know what? That's smart because I don't think the Kyraxes have 1 forwards. I think it's just 1 banks.
Yep.
So that was actually a pretty safe move to do. I was going to say if Justero did a 1 forward, he'd be boned, but they don't have that maneuver.
Yeah. So that's a target lock from the Inquisitor.
Yeah, no reason not to.
I do want to say, we haven't mentioned this yet, both these ships have beautiful paint jobs.
Yeah, they look phenomenal. OCX radio for the win.
And Fernando also, he does first order painting. That's his the name of his painting.
Yeah, his ship
business.
Look great. Yeah,
and he's actually nominated for Goldie Awards in painting.
What did you compose some Goldie Award music? Do we have some?
I didn't have time to do that.
It's the Goldies.
Well, I have a project for next year now, don't I?
Yeah, you do.
Featuring the tones of Ryan Farmer.
That's right. Oh, God, I can't sing.
You did this to yourself, sir.
I played myself.
All right, so 1 bank, hopefully missing the debris is Fernando's thought. All right, he skates in there. He'll be able to leverage that back arc.
Yeah,
at
absolutely.
least.
No matter what, he'll be getting some kind of shot. Something. Let's see what these ships do.
So no trajectory simulator, 1 forward.
Yep.
Just barely catching the Inquisitor.
Yeah, that barrel roll is really interesting. For me personally, I wouldn't have done it. I would have stayed there and fully tokened. There must have been a reason why he decided to do that, because for me, like, I would rather have blocked every possibility of avoiding multiple shots.
Right.
But again, I'm also the guy who just said you should be doing a 1 hard and boosting around the other way.
All right, so we're going to get a block here from Tirani, so no reload this turn. And quick.
This is an interesting railroad here because, you know, Kyle's got – he's going to have that bullseye on Inquisitor. So Inquisitor's in a really bad spot right now because Tirani's –
he's going to lose the focus.
He's going to lose that focus for sure.
Or take a damage.
Yeah, but he won't do that. He'll lose the focus.
And that happens when it's Tirani's turn to shoot. Is that how that one works?
Yeah.
We'll go ahead and we'll pull up the card so that we can have everybody read it. Are they're already onto attacking? We'll leave it be.
Really rough roll there for Kolda. No paint or no hits. So he's going to now have him strip the focus. That was very fortunate for Fernando. On average, that's 2.
All right, so he's thinking. He's
taking the shield. That's the power of Kolda's ability there. And we'll see. That's a tough choice to make because you might be saving yourself more with the focus because you'd be able to convert more results.
Right.
It's interesting.
And Kolda, who threw nothing, ends up doing a damage, right?
That's the thing. Like, let's say Kolda had gotten 1 damage through already. That's a much tougher decision to make. But for Fernando, like, sure, he still has a shield. So as long as he can
range 1.
So Nim does he have a lock?
Looks like he's looking for one. Yep.
Yep. He's got a lock. So he's going to re-roll. Does he have a focus as well?
He does have a focus there.
Lock and focus, yeah. So, so 3. Rough there for Kyle, hoping to get 4. That's what he really wants to push through that damage. Let's see if he natties out again.
Oh, that's
see?
That's going to be 2.
So
Inquisitor sitting at 1 hull.
Right, and that's obviously I'm not going to question Fernando's thing because you could be getting more. He could have rolled 2 focuses there and saved himself some damage.
Right.
But that's the difference. That right there is the difference.
Right.
And that's hard to know.
And that's like we don't see Tirani Kolda too often on the table, but being able to put these token stacking arc dodgers, with that bullseye is huge.
Well, the Nim's probably dead here because he's taken one heck of a shot from quick draw. Expertising into 3. Blank, so Nim's going to be sitting at 1. And I'm not sure if Inquisitor has a shot, but if he does, then it'll be dead Nim.
Especially he still has his focus. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, there's.
Yeah.
We'll
see if it matters here. All right.
I'm not. Again, I can't quite see the angle. I think
it looks like
Nim's a little canted.
He's rolling it. There's the focus. He has 1. If he rolls
that's
it,
I mean,
that's it. All right. So hindsight.
I mean, he just got Nim out of it. I mean, he's at 1 health, but. So still a really close game. What's really working in Fernando's favor right now is that Quick Draw still has all her shields.
Yep, there's that threat. You cannot ignore that.
And so you look at the bar, right? Of how.
So give us a second.
Give us a second. We got announcements. So you got the way the pendulum swings. We talk about momentum all the time in sports and where the morale is at and everything.
Yep.
Kyle had it early, taking out that shuttle and not losing a lot.
It's starting to swing.
It is the pendulum is swinging back in Fernando's favor, even though the Inquisitor's only at 1, just because of the power of Quick Draw here. Mm-hmm. So let's talk about win scenarios, Dion.
Yeah, win conditions.
Yeah. What is Fernando's win condition right now?
So Fernando's win condition right now, if we look at just points-wise, one of the first things I always like to look at, we have Quick Draws at 37, Inquisitor's 31. Right now, Inquisitor probably is going to die sometime during this game. Tirani Kolda is less expensive than Quick Draw, so if you can get Justero, who's the squishiest target out there right now, and you have a Kolda versus Quick Draw off, I think Quick Draw wins that, especially with her having all 3 shields left.
Very much so.
So that's what I think Fernando needs to do. You take out you take out Justero. Now, positioning-wise, Captain Justero might be out of the battle for a couple of turns here.
I think Justero does a 5K here.
He does a 5K, but that gives Fernando at least 1 turn to get some meaningful damage into Tirani before he's back into the fight.
Yeah, I think that you got to boogie out with Inquisitor here as well. I think you should do a 4 forward boost and see where that puts you. 4 forward boost, target lock, get that evade. And what you do to cover yourself there is you I don't think there's any way Tirani can get a shot if that's what the Inquisitor does.
Right.
And then I think you 3 sloop here to the right with Inquisitor. Shuts off your expertise. That's fine.
Take 1 turn.
Yeah, take
and
1
then
turn.
for Kyle, obviously you need to take out the Inquisitor ASAP.
Yeah.
And then once the Inquisitor is down, you have to use Justero and Tirani together to corner Quick Draw. Like, you're going to take the shots back.
You got to nuke shields in 1 round.
Yes.
You need 3 shields in 1 round. So, again, it sucks that his Scav Crane broke because he doesn't have his Harpoon missile anymore.
Yeah, he would have gotten back right there.
Yeah,
from Nim dying.
Yeah, we gotta cross off his Justero's Harpoon as well.
Yes.
Actually, no. He does. Did
he shot it? Didn't he shoot at the Inquisitor?
Yeah. Did Inquisitor take any damage with that Harpoon? No. So
he has munition
failsafe. That's big.
Uh-huh.
Munition failsafe means that he still has the Harpoon.
You're right. There it is right there.
Yeah, that is a game changer.
When has munitions failsafe been a game changer?
In this game.
Here it is.
Big time. This
Right?
is huge.
So that's the Vaxi title showing the buff to Kirax fighters right there.
That is that's really, really big for Kyle. Again, I just talked about momentum. I didn't even realize that. I think that evens out the game.
Okay, yeah.
I think
we're at a 50-50.
I think that the fact that Justero still has a harpoon missile puts this at a 50-50 right now. Because that means you could conceivably much easier drop Quick Draw's shields in one round. In addition to that, throwing the harpoon condition on her.
Yep, and then you get that crit. You do have Tarani there able to at some point possibly reload and then use chips.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe a really good move here for Kyle is to not worry about damage this round. 5K with Justero, go as fast as you can with Kolda, and get that reload off.
Yep.
Reconvene, move up, set up for another joust, which benefits you with 2 harpoons still.
And he does have unhinged astromech, so the 3 hard to the left is open.
Interesting.
So if Quick Draw does that sloop to the right, he'd be able to get out of the arc. So there's a 5K.
4K. They've got both, I believe.
Oh, 4K.
Yeah.
So he's trying to shorten up the field.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's weird. I might have done the 5 just because of the spacing. You know, you because of that 2 forward you can do next round. Here's the 4 forward from Inquisitor, like we talked about. Should be able to boost to the right. Maybe full token up. I mean, I would boost to the right. The only real risk you have is if Kolda decides to Talon roll. No, they don't.
They have 4K.
4K, right.
Which,
see, there it is, 4 forward boost, right. Yep, and throw in the target lock, like I said. So you get that free target lock. Yeah, then next turn you do a 1 hard and you start bringing yourself around. Or you don't. You do, a 2 forward and just play it wide.
That does look like a red maneuver on the dial.
Let's see if he 3-slooped the other way.
Yep, he has the 3 bank in his hand right there.
Yeah, that's exactly what I would have done. Just turn Quick Draw around. See if you can get a good, an easy, just freebie to get your target lock up. Maybe do 1 damage on Kolda.
Turns it, yep.
For all you X-Wing players that are listening that maybe don't play as much or, are newer to the game, when you're playing X-Wing, you really have to look at trades and talk about what's a good exchange that I'm getting.
Right,
am I going to be coming out on top on this exchange? Am I better off or am I worse off in certain situations? And free shots are always good.
There's a 3 hard. He's going to get the distance I think he needs to at least take a range 3 shot. Yeah, that's definitely still in range.
Yeah. And then since you have a shot, you reload. I think you reload. Or did he focus? Oh, no, target lock.
That is the target lock from Inquisitor.
Kyle decided to target lock instead. Is it the Inquisitor lock?
That's Inquisitor's target lock. He has a little green tab on there.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So he's deciding now. He could barrel roll to avoid being shot at all. Mind you, the quick draw doesn't have expertise up. So
it's totally unmodded. There's no, it's range 3, so it'd be 2 dice versus 3, and they both would be unmodded. Kolda still has the health. Oh, man, it's really tough.
I think that's why you didn't see him make a snap decision. This is a tough one.
I mean, that's why I would have done is there 4 forward red or is it white? I'm not sure.
I'm not entirely sure. We got it right here.
Let's see.
They don't have a 4 forward.
Oh no, maybe that's why you did the 3. Probably as fast as you can go.
I guess all I'm going.
I guess that totally makes sense. I'm going as fast. She's going as fast as she can. So I guess the 3 hard was there. See, I'm really bad at X-Wing. I don't know how all the maneuvers from hard here.
It's all right.
Kyle's trying to make a really interesting choice here as to what he's going to do.
Yeah, this is a fork in the road, possibly, because if he gets to that situation where if he does reload, he can use it, that flips the game.
You see, the other great thing for Fernando here is you just get Inquisitor out. You don't even worry about Inquisitor. You keep Inquisitor alive as long as possible because a 1-hull Inquisitor can still solo a full health Justero.
Oh, yes, he can.
Because Justero's never going to fire at it.
Nope.
No
and
chance.
And if he does, it's range 3, focus evade auto thrusters.
Since Fernando's quick draw is at full health right here, you just let quick draw do quick draw things because if they fire at quick draw here, she'll as long as Fernando plays it right,
Mm-hmm.
he's going to be doing a ton of damage. So if you trade Quick Draw, if Fernando trades Quick Draw for Kolda, you win the game.
So we're waiting here on Kyle's decision. I think I saw the flip. Yep. Reloaded.
Reloaded, and that's a good move. That's smart for Kyle, because now
It is range 3.
it's range 3. You know, it's 3 versus 2, both unmodded.
Expected damage, things like 1.5.
Right. So just 1.
There's 1.
And then probably gets 1 here. Gets 2.
There
See?
you go.
Totally fine.
Mm-hmm.
So he gets that harpoon back basically for free.
For free, yep.
And now you can do a 3 hard the other way, or 2 hard, and barrel roll yourself into range 1 of Quick Draw. And if you move Justero up fast enough, you could get potentially a range 1 on Quick Draw and a harpoon on Quick Draw.
Mm-hmm.
Which again is really dangerous. But Kolda has 8 health.
Yep. He can take it. You want to be able to have both arcs on one ship. That is what Kyle needs to try to do.
Ideally you want to avoid a range 1 on Quick Draw, because 8 dice could just nuke Kolda straight off the board. A lot of 2.0 discussion in the chat. Don't worry, there's going to be plenty of 2.0 discussion until September. Trust me.
We got our work cut out for us.
Oh yeah, I got a lot of work to do. Oh my God, we've already done 2 podcasts and we haven't even scratched the surface.
Yep.
Again, win conditions. Kyle's got to find a way to either get 2 good shots on the Inquisitor, ideally 2 harpoons at range 3.
Yep.
Or Quick Draw rather.
So one thing that Kyle does have at his advantage that he can use as a tool here. Tirani Kolda is PS10.
Right.
Quick Draw is PS9. If he can leverage the barrel roll on Tirani Kolda and start getting shots into Quick Draw in the side arc,
Correct.
where he can't shoot, that's another way for him to get ahead and take care of some of those shields. Fernando has to be careful not to go in too fast.
Yes.
And because that is when Quick Draw can get arc dodge.
Right, exactly. So if she gets in a situation where she goes hard after Kolda and Kolda arc dodges her, and then Justero gets free shots and strip shields, then interesting. I'm not sure what they're talking about right now.
We can take a listen in.
Fancy.
We missed it.
Yeah, we missed it.
So only we can hear the table audio, by the way.
Oh, that's
The
very
audience-
fancy.
audience can't.
Good. Good. Let's see. Again, someone mentioned in the chat, thank you, that you can't 2 hard and do it. 2 hards are red on the chemos. I knew that.
Yep.
I knew that.
So what's the turnaround maneuver on the Kimogila? Was it a 4K?
Yeah, I believe it's a 4K. Yep.
Yep. So you have Captain Justero just going too forward, focus, just covering, say, hey, if Quick Draw comes in here, I'm just going to fire the harpoon missile,
exactly.
get what I can.
Smart. Here's Fernando just getting
Out.
I'm out. I'm done. I only got 1. I'm just going to run and let Quick Draw mop up, and then I'll come in later and see where we're at.
Can I come into play? No, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good, Quick Draw. You do you, boo. And then we are in round 3 of day 1C of X-Wing World Championships here.
Yep.
We've seen a lot of X-Wing these 3 days. Some really good X-Wing and some redundant X-Wing, I would say.
We try to bring you the best matchups we can. Here's the 4K.
Interesting.
He does not currently have a target lock on Quick Draw, but he's going to be able to at least get a shot on him, range 3.
Yes.
Justero is probably out of range.
Yeah, that's why I would have come in a little faster with Justero there. But I don't think the 3 forward for the Kyrax is green, so he's got to clear that stress. Mm-hmm. I mean, we can check.
Yep,
Right,
yeah,
that's what I thought. Just the 2.
As fast
so
as you
it's
can
as fast as you can go and clear the stress. Classic.
All right, expertise is up, but here, sorry, this is Justero, not Justero.
Kolda.
2 hits.
2 evades.
And the return attack. 3 hits.
3 hits. and 1 evade, so 2 shields. Shields down on Tirani, which is it's rough for Kyle there. And Justero does not have the shot.
That dial limitation right there is what hurt the Kirax.
And again, this is why I think Fernando has the full advantage here, because if, again, even you know what Kyle has to do here? Kyle needs to bump into quick draw, and then Justero needs to fire a harpoon.
I like it.
That's what has to happen.
So that Tirani gets a turn to chill out.
Yes. So Kyle has to pick a maneuver here, even if he remains stressed. That gives him the best opportunity to bump quick draw. So Kyle's got to think of what's every maneuver quick draw could do right here, and probably not a 1 straight, because that might put him on the rock or go over the rock. Hard to see here. Where am I going to be that I'm either not being taken getting shot at, or I bump quick draw? And then you do a 3 bank with Justero, you lock, and you fire.
I think one thing I don't think Kyle can do anything about, though, I think the sloop to the right fits.
It could, yeah, but
and that might get you out of range of Justero and be able to take an uncontested range, maybe even range 1 shot.
I think you do.
I like this 3 bank, by the way.
Yeah, the 3 bank's absolutely correct move.
That's covering that entire corner. Quick draw is going to get shot.
Yeah, there's no escape for quick draw here. I think you do a 3 hard to the left with Kolda, which is green for him.
All right, so we're doing the target lock action.
Yep.
Yields the same results as focus, but I think with munitions failsafe.
Yeah.
One thing is that if it misses,
this is interesting. He's bringing Inquisitor back to play, which
okay.
I don't personally love right now. Sure, it might help you boost your offense, but it's a much bigger risk.
Want to say thank you to Nuclean Driss Gireos.
Grius, Nucion Grius? I don't know.
I love these Twitch names. They're awesome. So we got a 2 bank there from the Inquisitor. Not the Inquisitor.
Yeah, quick draw.
Quick draw.
And let's see if Kyle was able to put Kolda in a situation with the arc. Obviously, Fernando's got to consider a barrel roll here.
What are we thinking? Barrel rolling up? Because if Kyle came straight, he might be able to pre-arc dodge him.
Man, yeah, I think he's got to go that way, but he's still going to get harpooned.
He's going to go as far back as possible.
Yeah, he's still going to get harpooned. This is why I said the 3 hard. Let's see what Kyle did. He's got to be able to arc dodge.
2 bank.
Let's see if that'll be enough for him to barrel roll out, but it'll be really close. Is it the bump? Did he get the bump? I think we got the bump. He got the bump. That's good.
So this is good.
That's really, really good.
Justero can fire this uncontested harpoon missile.
That's huge. That is a major game changer. That was a tremendous move by Kyle that broke perfectly his way.
He could get, without focus, he could get all 3 shields here.
He could.
Target lock and chips still.
Yep, still really good chance to get 4. Chips. That's it. And then the harpoon condition will be applied as well.
So Fernando's just looking for natties here.
That's 1. Oh, strip shields.
Shields are gone.
Exactly what Kyle wanted. That's huge.
I will say this has been a great game. These guys are going back and forth.
Position. I mean, we like watching arc ships play for this exact reason, you know?
It's exciting. You have that advantage just constantly swinging.
Yeah. Munitions failsafe coming in.
I know, munitions failsafe.
The munitions failsafe for the win. That is absolutely a game changer. It's really rough. So remember how I just said with, oh no, you brought the Inquisitor in.
Right. Like, thank God you brought the Inquisitor.
Thank God you brought the melee, help, melee. Oh no. So now you're in a situation where you have to bring the Inquisitor to play because you don't have shields. You don't have that advantage anymore.
Right.
So,
and Inquisitor is in a spot to bring that
The
arc.
problem is that Kolda still has a harpoon, and Kolda's just doing a 1 forward and target locking the Inquisitor next turn.
Merry Christmas. There you go.
Here you are. So Kolda has 6 hull left. I think you got to do. Man, that's really rough. It's all bad. It's all bad for Fernando at this point in time.
So does Justero just keep on quick draw? too forward focus.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you just dial in on quick draw and you just go all in because quick draw is way more expensive, 37 points. So you just keep going at her.
I like it. I think
Yeah.
he's anticipating the sloop.
Yeah, you do one bank there because it gives you a lot of flexibility. Next turn, you can do a one hard with these Kyraxes. It doesn't put you out too much, and he'll probably be covering himself with Kolda, covering his blind side. This is going to be rough for Inquisitor if Kolda can get that harpoon off.
Does the target lock reach so that he can get that evade token?
Oh, absolutely, the target lock will reach.
Yep. All right. So he's got the target lock.
Man, I don't know if he should boost here though, or. I mean, I guess you just turtle up and then hope you dodge the entire harpoon.
It can happen.
Does he do it too hard here? I think the two.
Do we see, is it a bump?
I don't think so.
Yeah. Just barely.
Bump or clear?
No, that hit.
Oh, it did
It
hit.
bumped, yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, that's good for quick draw.
It is.
I mean, it's good and bad for quick draw. Because I think you have a shot to PS kill Justero there if you have a shot from Inquisitor and quick draw. But I don't know if Inquisitor's going to have a chance to fire because I think there's a juicy harpoon headed her way.
I think so. There's the target lock.
Yeah.
This is unobstructed, I believe.
It'll be tight. I think it will be unobstructed. But
So Kyle slammed down that harpoon missile.
he's ready. Yeah.
Oof, that's rough.
Yeah, it is rough.
He's looking for at least 2 results here.
Yeah. There it is.
Oh, there it is.
So Fernando needs all paint.
It was range 2, no auto thrusters.
Yep, he needs all paint. And that's not going to do
one-
it. Just
one
one
less.
short. Yep, so that'll close that.
Evade and takes 1 still.
Yeah, takes 1, and that'll do it for the Inquisitor. And quick draw will not have a shot. So it seems like Kyle has the game pretty much in hand, but if you're going to continue fighting for this victory, you have to take Kolda off the board.
That's the win condition right there.
The win conditions, Kolda off the board, stall for time.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
You got 8 minutes left, so it's still possible. Kolda's only at 6, right?
Yep.
So what you have to do is you anticipate Justero is going to be doing a K turn. It's still a 3, basically a 3 dice Imperial ship.
That has expertise,
That has
target lock.
Exactly.
So a couple of things, and he does have the target lock engaged on Tirani, so he doesn't
does.
need a turn
Correct.
to set it up.
Yeah.
I want to talk about some other, not only strategy on the board, but gameplay strategy.
Right.
Fernando needs to make sure, with time being a resource as well, that his dial is on the table before Kyle's
Exactly.
every time.
Every time.
It does 2 things.
He's got it down right now.
Right. It does 2 things. It pressures the other player to get down their
Correct.
dial sooner, and you're just ready before them. You don't want to waste any time.
Right.
So you're putting the onus on the player, and like there's a mental physical thing that once you see somebody else is ready, you notice like, wait, I need to make this
On
decision.
average, Fernando needs probably 3 rounds of fire
Yes.
to kill Kolda. Ideally, if he's lucky, 2.
Yep.
If he's lucky, 2, probably needs 3. That would be such as getting a direct hit or 2 blanks from Kyle, but making sure he gets 3 every time.
Mm-hmm.
For Kyle, he just needs to be bumping Inquisitor and stalling for time.
Yep. And
He doesn't have to. I mean, he can play chicken and pluck away with Justero here, do a 4K and just kind of do pot shots. But he doesn't need to engage with Kolda, nor should he,
Right.
unless he's really hunting that MOV.
right, which I think Kyle's gonna, his type of squad, he's losing 1 to 2 ships, every game
Yeah.
usually, unless he's wiping the floor with
Again,
another squad.
Kyle's got a really good trick.
Yeah.
He's got a really good
He's
trick.
got a good trick, and trying to get, he wants to kill quick draw, so that's what he's looking for right now. He's looking for that opening to try to kill quick draw, not just win on points.
And that's not a stress on Tirani. That's a target. That's a
Yeah,
quick draw's
target
target
lock.
lock. Thanks for bringing that up, chat.
So the 3, all right, here we go. Dials for Tirani is down.
And Kyle's doing his due diligence. He's not slow playing. It's a lot to
No,
think about.
this is a big turn.
Yeah,
this is a big turn. He wants to try to take it out.
It's a really important turn. I mean, on average, like 1 minute per dial per ship. You know what I mean? Or 45 seconds per dial per ship is good courtesy. Once you start taking a little longer than that, some turns a little more than others, hard to say, but I mean, I know Kyle personally. He's not a slow player.
Right.
This is a very difficult decision all around.
And when I stream, I definitely do keep a tab, like an informal tabulation of how many rounds we've done.
Right.
We've already played more than 11,
Exactly.
which is the average. So
Yeah.
we are at pace. And, every round does slow down a little bit, speed up. It just depends on where we are in the game.
Right.
And at Worlds, you want to make sure you get all the points you can.
Yeah, you're telling me. Oh, my gosh. Then there's a lunch break after this round for an hour, so we'll be taking a break, right?
Yep. Yeah, we're taking a break. We actually have to move the streaming setup.
That sounds bad.
Yeah, but at least we have the lunch break to do it. So
Oh, great.
we got to move this setup. We were asked by our hosts to vacate our current premises.
I don't believe them.
So we got the one hard here.
Interesting.
Probably a focus.
Yeah.
I think that's...
I mean, I'm over target lock. It's free. Probably not getting shot at. Might as well just ready up.
And now, tournament-wise, is it smarter for Fernando to just try to play out the clock and just keep quick draw alive? Like, is that...
No, you go for the win. You go for Tirani. And again, Kyle's taking his time. I mean, not going as quick as you necessarily have to. And Fernando, has to, there's always hope. You can do
He's going for it, so he's turning into where Tirani's going to be.
Yep. Potentially. Tirani's got that barrel roll, though, so it's still tough.
Mm.
But I think you cover all your bases here with this barrel roll.
Yeah, he's trying to get inside the turn.
Yeah.
So, successful barrel roll.
Yeah.
4K.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of face-off action.
This is fine for Fernando, sure, it's okay. We're going at it.
Kyle's unmodded.
Yeah, Kyle's unmodded.
Fernando is.
He's fully modded. One shot. This engagement benefits Fernando. If he can push 3 into Tirani, it's still absolutely a game.
Absolutely. All right, here we go. Here's Tirani.
2.
Yep.
Hit crit. That crit's big.
Harpoon condition is active currently. Ooh, that harpoon condition is going to trigger. So harpooned plus a crit.
Yep. So 1 damage and a crit. And is it direct? It is console fire. Oof. I mean,
50% chance to, well, not 50, it's 3 at 3
if
out
he
of 8.
sloops,
And no back arc.
I mean, I don't know why you would. You got to go all in for points. You have to kill. You've got to kill him here. You got the lock. It looks like a hit. That's 3.
Expertise.
Yep. And a blank.
So there's 3 damage.
So it's really going to kind of come down to this last round. Is there a maneuver Kyle can do to ensure
he does not get any shots?
That Fernando doesn't get any shots. Is there a maneuver that Fernando can do that ensures he does get a shot no matter what, and hopefully pushes through 3 and then have Kyle roll a blank? And could he do something where Kyle doesn't have a shot at all? I mean, if you're Kyle, I think you got to do probably a 3 hard to the left.
Yep.
To give yourself a range 3. If that a shot to, we're probably only going to have 1 more round of fire. So Fernando's got to call whatever move Kyle's going to do.
This is so exciting. These moments right here are my favorite, absolute favorite. It's going to come down to this. Quick draw has the target lock engaged, has expertise,
and has a console fire, which is deadly. If you do, let's say Fernando does a 1 hard, right?
Well, the thing is that Fernando doesn't need his actions.
No, he doesn't. That's what I'm saying, though. Let's say Fernando, his whole dial's open to him depending on what you do. You could do, a 3 or 4 forward here, clear your console fire, use your butt arc, and hope it's a range 1.
Yep.
I wouldn't necessarily bank on that because that would mean that he could probably barrel roll out of that and make it a range 2, which means it's only 2 dice, and you got to do 3 damage, right?
Right.
So Fernando, you could maybe guess that he's going to do a 3 hard in either direction, right? So, I mean, it's really Fernando has to figure out Like what's
the move?
What's the move?
Yeah.
And so let's play the game. What is the best move for Kyle? Like where do you think he's going to be? I mean, honestly,
so you don't want to.
If I'm Kyle, I do a one bank left, and here's why. The only way that Quick Draw would get a shot if he does a one bank to the left is if he sloops,
Yep.
which would mean he's stressed and he might take a console fire damage and he doesn't get the expertise.
Yep.
Which means he'd have to roll all paint, or all hits with the lock.
Natties.
If he does the one bank and he decides to go with the butt arc, you can barrel roll to make it a 2-dice shot against you, or just arc dodge completely. If you do the one bank and he does anything else, Quick Draw literally does anything else, then he bumps.
All right.
So I think it's the
one bank.
I think one bank left is the correct move for Kyle to do. And with Fernando, I think you got to do the 3 sloop to the left and just take the variance
and hope
and just pray. I mean, you can't in Worlds. If you're Fernando, you can't bank that Kyle's gonna try and be sneaky and do a 3 hard to the right or 3 hard to the left, because those moves could be catastrophic.
Or does he take the points? Does he try to just?
You could, but I mean, you can get the win. You could get. I mean, it's still within your grasp if you kill Kolda. Let's see what he did here.
There's that 3 bank template. Is he going straight? He's going for the butt shot.
I think he's going to flip his console fire. Yeah, didn't want to take the risk, the 50%.
Okay, so he's looking for that range 1 shot.
Well, I mean, that in this scenario, the one bank's a really poor decision.
3 hard.
Yep, and that's where like he could have maybe tried to call that and do a 1 hard to the right, and then be range 1 right behind him. But there's a lot of disadvantages to that move too.
Yep, that is a green maneuver because of unhinged astromech.
Correct.
This is most likely range 2. And pretty much the only thing that Kyle has to worry about is the double damage.
That's it.
That is. So if I'm Fernando,
you're rolling for crits.
You're rolling for crits. Yep. You target lock.
Even if you get 2 hits, you target lock into crits.
Yep.
You got to do everything you can to get crits. And if I'm Kyle, I think you barrel roll to the right and forward to make it a range 3 and give yourself 2 greens. Again, I think I would personally.
Right.
I think I would have slooped, and taken the risk with the console fire, because I think you need the 3 dice, even without the expertise. I mean, it's again.
He's focusing.
Yeah.
Focusing. I get it. Actually, math-wise, a focus is better than on average
the die.
than an
Yeah.
extra
No,
die.
I mean, that's correct.
You just have a higher upside with 2.
Yep.
But as he only has 2 dice coming at the butt.
So he's got to
target
lock those. Hope for crits. He needs 2 crits. There's 1 crit.
One.
Major
explosion.
Direct hit. Nope, and
Yeah,
that's the
good game.
That's it. That's a really good game. Kyle gets it.
All right.
Really great game all around. Fernando played it really well. They both played it really well there. But I think one of the big deciding factors was that good block with Kolda coming back in the MVP munition failsave.
Yes, yeah. I mean,
into losing all of Quick Draw's shields.
That was fantastic game. Thank you so much to Fernando and Kyle. You guys are awesome. And I want to say thank you for everybody for watching our coverage. We'll be back at round 4 after the lunch break. I'll find out the time and I'll update it. All of our videos after this weekend will be available on the Gold Squadron Podcast YouTube page. Nothing will be posted, though, until after the weekend. I don't want people on my stream to have a competitive disadvantage because they're on tape.
Right.
And lastly, if you want to support our content, you can go to patreon.com/Gold Squadron to join our largest group of supporters and get awesome swag.
Also,
including upcoming 2.0 swag.
That's right. And if you have an Amazon Prime account, make sure you connect that to Twitch. Become a Prime subscriber. It costs you nothing because you already have Amazon Prime. Please just do that. Gives Dion a little bump for all the hard work he does. Or go to goldsquadron.com and participate in the Goldies Award Show raffle. A lot of cool stuff there.
A lot of cool stuff there. Check out all the prizes we have them posted. We'll be back.